Hi, my dear students. Today we will learn about conservation laws in modern physics, mainly baryon number, lepton number, and strange baryon number conservation. As all of you know, a particular class of fermions are called baryons, and in every interaction, the sum of baryon numbers of the product must be equal to that of its original particles. This is the conservation of baryon number. This is an example for counting rule, just like charge conservation. The impact of this law is baryons can be created or disappeared in pairs. That means the total number of baryons is conserved in this universe. Baryon number quantum number is 1 for baryons and -1 for antibaryons. It is 0 for all other elementary particles like mesons and leptons. So, when a baryon disappears without producing a new baryon, it takes an antibaryon along with it to conserve baryon number. Okay, so the total number of baryons in this universe is always a constant. Now, its impact. The first point is about the stability of the proton. Proton is the lightest baryon, so cannot decay to other baryons. It cannot decay to mesons or leptons without violating the baryon number conservation, because mesons and leptons have baryon number 0. Proton is the lightest baryon. It has baryon number 1. Okay, so protons are stable. But later it is found that this is not an absolute fact. Certain theories which unify the strong force with the electroweak force predict proton is unstable. It means it would disintegrate after a very long lifetime to lighter particles by violating baryon number conservation. This theory is known as SU5, special unitary theory. This predicts the average lifespan of the proton should be 2.5 into 10 raised to 31 years. Then comes lepton number conservation. This law states that the total number of leptons in this universe is conserved. Each lepton has lepton number 1 and anti-lepton has -1. There are 3 types of lepton numbers. Electronic lepton number is 1 for electron and its neutrino, and -1 for its antiparticle positron and antineutrino. 0 for other leptons, baryons and mesons. At the same time, the next class in the leptons are muons. So muonic lepton number is 1 for muon and its neutrino, and it is -1 for antimuon and its antineutrino. 0 for all other particles. Similarly, the third class of lepton is tau. Tau lepton number is 1 for tau meson and its neutrino. It is -1 for anti-tau and anti-tau neutrino. 0 for all other particles. Here we call this tau lepton just as tau meson, but it doesn't mean that tau particle is a meson. Tau particle is a lepton. There is no clear symmetry principle responsible for baryon and lepton number conservation, but this law may be violated in some very rare cases. These conservation laws rule the creation and destruction of all non-fermions. Since leptons and baryons are the main fermions, the fermion number is conserved in this universe. But there is no conservation laws corresponding to the number of bosons. So mesons and protons are bosons, and their number is not conserved in this universe. Then comes the third conservation law, strangeness conservation. This law was formulated based on experimental data. The strange particles are created by strong interaction as little as 10 raised to minus 22 seconds, but they decay to lighter particles through weak interaction. Average lifetime is 10 raised to minus 10 seconds, and these particles are called strange particles because of its strange behavior. Because these particles are created by strong interaction and decay through weak interaction. One example for this is lambda hyperon. Strange particles are created in pairs. Another property is called associative production. M. Gell-Mann and K. Nishijima in 1952 proposed a theory called conservation of strangeness. This theory states that there is a quantum number called strangeness. This is conserved in strong and electromagnetic interactions but not in weak interactions. So, if a system of particles goes through a strong or electromagnetic interaction, the strangeness after the interaction must equal to the strangeness prior to the interaction. The strangeness quantum number is 0 for nucleons and pions, non-zero strangeness for kaons and the hyperons. The strange particles are produced in groups of 2 or more. Then the impact of the conservation of strangeness. A strange particle cannot decay in a strong or electromagnetic interaction to particles lacking strangeness. So, it can decay to such particles through weak interaction. Strangeness is not conserved in weak interaction. So, in weak interaction, strangeness means the strangeness of neutral lambda is -1 and that of neutral k is +1. Positive k hyperon, k plus hyperon has +1 strangeness. Similarly, all sigma hyperons have strangeness -1 and psi hyperons -2, omega hyperons -3. The heavier the particle, the more negative its strangeness. If a particle has strangeness S, then its antiparticle will be minus S strangeness. Strangeness is 0 for leptons and photons. Decay of kaons and hyperons violates the strangeness conservation. So it happens through weak interaction. The lightest strange particles are kaons, so their decay products are of 0 strangeness. Now we can discuss certain examples. The decay products of lambda 0, sigma plus and sigma minus must include a nucleon because of the conservation of baryon number. The remaining mass is too small for a kaon, so strangeness is not conserved in this process. So the lambda 0 decays to proton plus ion, I minus. Here the change in strangeness is given by delta S equal to +1. The decay of psi particle is a two-stage process. Each stage the strangeness increases by 1 unit. Here the chi 0 is decayed to lambda 0 plus psi 0 and then lambda 0 to proton plus I minus. So the first stage strangeness changes by +1 unit and the second stage again +1 unit. So the decay of psi particles is two-stage process. Then the omega minus. Omega minus transforms to non-strange particles through three-stage process. At the first stage, omega minus transformed into chi 0 plus phi minus by changing strangeness to +1. Then chi 0 changes to lambda 0 plus phi 0 by strangeness change +1. Again lambda 0 to proton plus phi minus by strangeness change by +1. So the conservation laws of charge, energy, mass and baryon number prevents decay of the particles to the particles of same strangeness. The sigma 0 is the only hyperon which can decay without violating the strangeness. Here the sigma 0 decays to lambda 0 plus a photon. Here the change in strangeness is 0 because sigma 0 and lambda 0 has strangeness -1 and photon has strangeness 0. The lifetime of sigma 0 hypron is shorter by several orders of magnitude than other hyprons because it decays through an electromagnetic interaction. Photon is not affected by strong interaction and the decay of sigma 0 produces a photon. So each decay is happening through an electromagnetic interaction. Now each hadron can be assigned a type of charge called strangeness. Strangeness is conserved in strong and electromagnetic interaction but not in weak interaction. Certain processes cannot be observed although they do not violate the classical conservation law. Strangeness conservation law is formulated to explain these processes. So, every hadron is characterized by three types of charges. They are electric charge and a baryon number and strange charge S. All these charges are whole numbers. This can be positive, negative or zero. So these laws are called counting laws. The charges of the antiparticles are opposite in sign to those of its particles. If a hadron has a charges Q, A and F, then the charges of its antiparticle will be minus Q, minus A and minus F. Next, we will discuss about the neutral kaons. It was observed that a beam of neutral ions produced in an accelerator consists of two types of particles. One type of the particles have shorter life, around 8.9 into 10 raised to minus 11 seconds, and they decay to 2 pions. At the same time, other type of particles have longer life, minus 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 8 seconds, which decays to 3 particles. If the beam is allowed to travel to a certain distance, only the short-lived particles will die out and the beam will contain only long-lived kaons. Later, it was experimentally proved they differ in their masses. So, they are not particle-antiparticle pairs. The explanation is given by Gell-Mann and Payat in 1955. Based on their proposal, there is a neutral kaon K0, then there is an corresponding antiparticle K0 bar. Both these particles have same mass, spin and electric charge. Spin 0 and electric charge is also 0 because both are neutral kaons. But they differ in their strangeness. That is why we call it as neutral kaon and its antiparticle. Kaon possess positive strangeness, whereas its antiparticle have negative strangeness, -1 strangeness. Here, these two types of kaon, neutral kaon and its antiparticle, decay into two pions, either pi plus and pi minus or two pi neutral pions by a weak interaction. Then they proposed that due to the de Broglie wave function of these neutral kaons, the kaons and neutral kaons and its antiparticles interfere and they form constructive interference and destructive interference. At a point where this constructive interference happens, the decay happens through the two pions. This is a fast process. At the same time, where the destructive interference happens, the decay occurs as free particles. This process is a slow process. So, the decay, in this case, the decay into two pions is forbidden because of the violation of charge parity conservation. Here, the observed particles, that means the short-lived kaons and the long-lived kaons, possess mixed strangeness so that they can participate in processes which require either positive or negative strangeness. So the combination can be treated as real particles. Now, multiplex and hypercharge. Particles can be grouped together so that they have same strangeness, baryon number, and spin, but slightly differ in mass. These groups are called multiplex. Nucleon is an example for a multiplex. The members are proton and neutron. Actually, this is a doublet. There are so many doublets like K plus K0, K0 bar K minus, proton neutron, I0 pi minus, and triplets like pi plus, pi 0, pi minus, sigma plus, sigma 0, sigma minus, and singlets like eta 0, lambda 0, and omega minus. Kaons are arranged in two multiplex, just like we can see here K plus K0 is one duplex and K0 bar and K minus is another one. This is because these are differ in strangeness. In a single multiplex, all the particles have same strangeness. But the three pions have same strangeness, so all of them included in the same multiplex. For every multiplex of baryons, there is a similar multiplex of antibaryons. Multiplex differ in number of particles and average charge. So we can define a new quantum number, hypercharge, such that this is the average charge of a multiplex multiplied by 2. It is defined as the sum of strangeness S and the baryon number A. This equation is valid for all hadrons. Gell-Mann and Nishijima predicted the existence of different members of multiplex. Later their existence was experimentally proved. Now, isospin. There are two more quantum numbers associating with multiplex. These are called isotopic spin, in short isospin, and its projection along an imaginary axis. Isospin is related with the number of particles in the multiplex. Let I be the isospin of each particle in a multiplex, then the number of particles in the multiplex is given by n equal to 2i plus 1. For singlet, isospin is 0. For doublet, isospin is 1 by 2. And for triplet, isospin is 1. In 1930, Heisenberg defined isospin to characterize the nuclides of various isotopes. He interpreted proton and neutron as the different states of a basic particle. So he assumed an imaginary direction in analogy with spin, and the components of isospin along this direction indicate the different states of the basic particle. So there are, for an isospin I, there are 2i plus 1 states in this isospin space. For example, in the case of nucleons, their isospin I is given by 1 by 2, and so there are 2i plus 1, 2 states in this isospin space. Isospin is conserved in strong interactions. The total isospin of the product particles must be equal to that of the particles before the reaction. The Iz is conserved in strong and electromagnetic interactions. That is, the component of isospin along an imaginary direction is conserved in strong and electromagnetic interactions. The conservation of Iz is a simple counting rule, but the conservation of I is complicated because I is a vector quantity. Isospin and its components meaningful only for hadrons. We can explain this isospin in isospin space. Isospin is like angular momentum, which is defined in an abstract space. So here the rotational invariance in I space is the after effect of the isospin conservation. Strong interactions do not have a preferred direction in I-phase, so it cannot distinguish between different particles in a multiplex. That is why isospin is conserved in strong interaction. So it can't distinguish between proton and neutron. It takes same energy to taken out a proton or neutron from a nucleus. Strong force is not affected by charge and acts identically on all particles in a multiplex. So isospin is conserved in strong interaction. But electromagnetic and weak interactions depends on charge. So isospin is not conserved in these interactions. Here A represents the barium number and S the strangeness. We already learned that the strangeness and barium numbers are conserved quantities. So if the I3 is also a conserved quantity, if the charge is, we can conclude that I3 is conserved in every interaction in which the strangeness is conserved, because Q charge is already a conserved quantity and barium number is also a conserved quantity. So the strangeness is also conserved in an interaction. In that case, it's combined. I3 is also conserved. This equation helps physicists to predict the existence of certain particles before it was discovered experimentally. So now I think I can conclude the lecture now. In this lecture we learned about barium number conservation, lepton number conservation, strangeness conservation, multiplex and hypercharge, and isospin. Happy learning. Thank you.